Rosh Chodesh. Okay, this is the last easy daf for a while, so hold cup. Okay, daf Mem Aleph. We're up to 2, 4, 6. No, Ketanoi. 2, 4. And 9 lines from the top. Okay, so we saw yesterday, if we look back, 5, 6 lines from the bottom and Mem Amud base. So we saw that Rab Nachman, Rab Amar, and Rab Yitzchak say, Ein Adam Oiseh Davar She'eino Shelo, a person cannot answer something that does not belong to him. So the Gemara over here says, Ketanoi, let's say that this saying of Ein Adam Oiseh Davar She'eino Shelo is a machlokes Tanoim. Why? We learned as follows. Oived kechavim shenisech yeina shel Yisrael sheloi bifnei avodas kechavim asarai. Okay, a guy that was. Okay, so a guy that was menasech the wine of a Jew. So Rashi explains what is menasech. He washes his hands or he dips his hands into the wine for avodas kechavim, but he doesn't do it in front of the avodas kechavim. He does it somewhere else. So Asarai, Tanakama says the guy asers the wine, and it's considered avodah zarah. Rabbi ben Beseira, Rabbi ben Bava, Mateh Naisai, Mipnei Shnei Dvarim. Echad she'ein menaschem yain ela b'fnei avodas kechavim, ve'echad she'yochel loymar lo kol heimencha she'tasri yaini lo ansi. So the two Rabbi Yudas, Rabbi ben Beseira and Rabbi ben Bava say, no, this wine is mutar for 2 reasons. One reason is because a guy is not menasech, doesn't do avodas kechavim, not in front of the avodas kechavim itself. And over here we saw that it said that he didn't do it in front of the avodas kechavim, so that's why it's mutar. And the second reason is because, as we said, ein adam meiser davar she'eino shelo. So l'chura we see over here that we have here a machlokes tanaim whether a person could answer something that's not his. So the Gemara says no. V'Rav Nachman, V'Rav Amam, V'Rav Yitzchak Amrei. No, they say no. We could go also according to Tanakama, who says that this wine is asur. The only case that a guy is Oiseh Davar She'eino Shelo is only a guy that we're saying he really does want to make it avodah zarah, but by a yid he's not really meaning to make it avodah zarah. He's doing it just to make the guy upset. His mimela, he's not real. His kavanah is not really to aser it. His mimela is mutar.
But it's also not his.
Obviously.
So he can't make it aser.
That's the whole machlokes. That's the whole thing over here. Could someone aser something that's not his? So we say here that by a Jew does it just to make him upset, and he's not really being menasechet for avodas kechavim.
If he wants to upset him, that means his dafke wants it to be also for him.
Why?
How is he upset him by making it also for him?
No, by saying he's doing it, but he's not really doing avodas kechavim. He doesn't really want to do avodas kechavim.
But if you want to do it, he would be able to do it?
L'chura, yes. We'll see right there in the Gemara, yes.
According to that cheetah, he
Yes.
could be answers on the other side.
That's right.
Okay. Tashma.
Okay, Tashma. So Gemara brings the brises that we saw yesterday. 2 people are holding a knife and shechting together. One is doing it l'shem avodah zarah or any other isurim. And the second one is doing it for something kosher. So we see here that you even by a Yisrael, we don't say that he's mechaven to be mitzarehim. He's doing it in order to aser, and a person is oiser davar she'eino shelo. So Gemara says, we're talking here about a Yisrael mumar, that his kavanah is really for avodah zarah. His mimela, the shechita is pasul.
So we see that a Jew can answer those.
That's right. That's right. So we see that there is a machlokes tanoim, and we cannot explain Tanakama according to Rav Nachman and Rav Yitzchak and Rav Amram. Toshma, another brisa. Hametame v'hamedamea v'hamenasech b'shoigeg potur b'mezid chayav. So we see over here also a menasech b'mezid is chayav. So we see over here that by Yisrael we don't say the reason of letziura k'mechaven. We see that he's really doing avodah zarah. So Gemara says, "Achenami b'Yisrael mumar." Also over here we're talking about Yisrael mumar. Is mimela his das is to do avodas kechavim. Is mimela he could ask the davar she'eino shelo according to Tanakama that we saw before. Rashi just explains over here that we saw the same questions above and we had different answers. Right? We say that he has a shutfus, and that's why he could answer. So over here the Gemara is continuing with the terrace that we said before, that it's a guy, and by a Jew it's not like that. So the Gemara continues with the same continuation and talks about a Yisrael Mumar, just to explain it in the same way. Go ahead.
So what's the maskana here?
Maskana is l'chura, there's a machlokes tanaim.
How do we paskin?
Look in the Rambam.
I don't know. I think any of them are says Hashem Shalom. I think any of them are says Hashem Shalom. Okay. Amar le Rabacha bered Rav Rabashi. I think I mentioned it 2-3 days ago. I just threw it out at Eli. His lubai v'kibel alav aslo. We're talking about a Jew who's fine. Okay, everything.
We don't know if he's a mu'min.
We know he's not.
That's it.
Okay, he's fine. He's kosher. And we were master by him. We said to him, listen, if you shech this for Avodah Zarah, you'll be chayav misa.
So why are you saying that if you don't know? Why would you say that to this guy?
Even a guy that we know that he's okay, if he's mekabel asra, it makes, that's the Gemara.
Why are you worried about the guy? That's what I'm asking.
What?
So this guy's a regular guy. What are you worried about?
It's a no.
He's telling it.
It's a let's see what the question is. Okay, so they were master by not to be over not to shech Avodah Zarah, because if he does shech Avodah Zarah, he's chayav misa. And he said, Kibel alav asra. He said, I know, I'm still doing it. So Gemara says, Mai, what's his status at this point? That's why the Gemara is asking. The Gemara wants to know, he didn't do anything wrong yet. All he said was, I know, and I'm going to do it anyway. But he didn't. He was never a mumar. He never did anything for Avodah Zarah. What happens to this shchita? At this stage in life, when he was just mekabel hasra, is he considered a mumar? Is a shchita asur or not? That's the kasha of the Gemara.
I understand that. I just understand why you're warning. It's like you go to a guy who has no chazak of being a bad person.
That's right.
Why are you giving him chazak? Why are you giving him a warning?
It's a kasha.
And he was like, I wish I could do this.
It doesn't.
So then the guy is a guy who...
No, he's not. But he never did anything. So therefore they give him a warning.
It's not a case that happened. It's a case that the Gemara says at this point in life, where is he up to?
Above the red line, below the red line. It's that guy.
Okay, Amalek. So he answers him back, or Rav Ashi answers him back. Once the guy says, I know I'm going to die, and I'm doing it afal pichen, of course he's considered a mumar, and his shchita is considered for Avodah Zarah, and it's asur. Okay, weiter.
You shouldn't talk to him. That's what he's saying. Something say, don't say.
Ein sheichatim leila seichamim leila seich nehorais v'leila teich kelim. You don't shecht in a way that the blood goes into the sea, or it goes into the rivers, or that it goes into kelim. Why? So into rivers and into sea, we say we're not allowed to do it because there's a maris ayin that they're going to think that you're doing it for the sar of the yam, which is Avodah Zarah, and you don't collect the blood into kelim, that they shouldn't say that you're collecting this blood for Avodah Zarah. Aval sheichet u'lesoich uga shel mayim, but he could shecht into a small puddle of water. Uvesfina al gabe kelim, if he is in the boat and he wants the shecht, but he doesn't want the boat to be.
Buma just means a ditch, not of water.
Of water. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. That even if it has water,
Even if it has water.
even if it has water, because it doesn't look like he's shechting it for the sar of the yam. Okay. Uvesfina al gabe kelim, if he's in the boat and he wants to shecht and he doesn't want the boat to be full of blood, so then in such a case you could shecht on a kli, and the Gemara is going to explain that he shechts it like on the side of the boat, and the water drips down on the side of the boat into the ocean.
No question of Kisur Hadar, because
He's shechting an animal. No chaya, not a chaya, not an oif. Ein shechetim leguma kolikor. You're not supposed to shecht into a hole in the ground, okay? Not a puddle, a proper hole in the ground. You're not allowed to shecht at all. But in his house, he could make a hole in the ground and shecht into it. The Gemara is going to explain this contradicts to what you just said, that you can't do a hole at all. But if it's in your house, you could shecht into this hole. Ubashuk lo yaseh kain, but out in the shuk, you shouldn't do it. Shelo yechake esat tzdukim. That he shouldn't hold up. He shouldn't hold up what the tzdukim do. That he does the way they do. Okay, Zag the Gemara. Ein sheichatim. We said in the Mishnah, la l'seicham la l'seichna harais. But you could shecht l'toich uga shel mayim. So the Gemara says, Maishna. No, this is for you. Maishna l'toich yamim deloi. Why aren't you allowed to shecht into the river, into the oceans? Because we say that he's shechting it to the sar of the yam. So the Gemara asks, if he's shechting it into a puddle, we're going to say that he's shechting it to his reflection in the water, right? He sees his own reflection in the water, so we're going to say he's shechting into the reflection of the water. We're talking about dirty water that you can't see yourself through. It's mimela, there's no chashash that people are going to think that you're shechting to yourself. And shechatim leguma. So as I mentioned before, the Gemara, the Mishnah at the beginning says you're not allowed to shecht into a hole at all. And then the Mishnah says, but in the house you could. So the Gemara says, how could you tell me that in the house you could do it? You just said that you're not allowed to do it at all. When it says en shechtim leguma kolikar, it's talking about the shuk. So the Gemara says, we mentioned the shuk at the end of the Mishnah. So how could we say that the beginning is also talking about the shuk? So explains Rava. No, the Mishnah is telling us as following: you're not allowed to shecht into a hole in the ground at all. Someone who wants to keep his garden clean, what does he do? Okay, so he makes like a small ditch or like a path, like for the in the outside of the guma, and he shechts outside the guma, and the blood hole. So he's not really shechting into the hole itself. He shechts next to it and makes it run down to the hole. But bashuk. But in the shuk he shouldn't do it, because in the shuk people don't care about keeping the place clean.
So what's this?
Because that's what the tzdukim used to do. The tzdukim used to do for their Avodah Zarah, they used to shecht into a hole. So that's why you shouldn't do it that way, because it looks like you're doing it like the tzdukim.
It's making them their choik to be something.
Because they do it. Because that's what they do. You shouldn't do what they're doing.
In your house, no problem to do it.
You're not doing exactly the same thing.
Well, what does that do with tzdukim? Tzdukim take the Torah literally and then Torah Shabbat. What?
I guess this was just another thing that they used to do.
Why in the house when nobody sees it? Any concern?
The Gemara talks over here about a chutzner, right? The chutzner is not inside his house. It is kind of a shared yard that people probably could see, so there is maybe a worry of what people are going to see and what people are going to say. Okay, Tanya Kvasa de Rava, we have a brisa like Rava, Hayamehalach Basfina. If he was in the ship or in the boat, and he doesn't want to shecht in the boat, the blood should go all over the place. He takes his hand outside the boat and shechts, but he shechts it in a way that the blood flows down into the ocean on the side of the boat, not directly into the water, but he lets it flow down on the side of the boat. And you're not allowed to shecht into this hole in the ground at all. Someone who wants to keep his yard clean, what does he do? Okay. Hashoichet, someone who shechts Chullin.
Should have been here with the coffee already.
It's fine. He's preparing takeaways
We
today.
have a 25-minute warning, but
Listen, we could start early, Dreyfus.
start 7:30, you know?
Hashem, tomorrow is not going to be as fast. Hashem l'shem oila, l'shem zvachim, l'shem Hashem tov, l'shem pesach, l'shem toida. Shchitosei psula v'obshim machshem. Someone who shechts chullin outside, but when he shechts it, he has in mind that he's doing it either l'shem oila, or l'shem shlomim, or l'shem asham talui. Asham talui is an asham that we bring in a case where a person has a suffix whether he's chayav kares or not. If he has two pieces, one of fat and one of chaylev, and he's not sure which one he ate, so in such case he brings asham talui. Or if he did it l'shem pesach or l'shem toida, the shchita is possible. Why? Because all these karbanos are brought by neder and nedava, meaning a person himself could decide he wants to bring it at any time, and therefore we worry that a person that sees him doing it l'shem these things, he's going to think that now he's being makdish this animal for one of these karbanos, and he's doing shchita bachutz. And if we're going to say that it's mutar, we would think that kachim, that shchita bachutz, would be mutar to eat.
So therefore, it's even to eat it as chullin is also.
That's right. It's also to eat at all. The Rabbi Shimon machshir. Rabbi Shimon is not chayshish to marry sign. We're not worried what other people would say. Shnai mechazim besakin v'shechatim. Two people holding the knife and shechting together. Echal Hashem, echal mikolelu, v'echal Hashem davar kosher, shkitos psula. We've seen this before several times. If you do it l'shem, something puzzle, something kosher, it's puzzle. Now, hashayche l'shem chatos, l'shem Hashem vaday, l'shem b'chor, l'shem ma'aser, l'shem t'mur, shkitos kshera. But we brought at the beginning of the Mishnah different cases where if you shecht it l'shem these different kachim, it's puzzle. There are kachim that if you do it l'shem these kachim, it's still kosher. What? If you do it l'shem chatos or l'shem l'shem Hashem vaday. Hashem vaday is the five Hashem, Hashem gzelos, Hashem meilos, Hashem shivcha charufa, etc. Or l'shem b'chor, l'shem ma'aser, l'shem t'mura, shchitos kshera. Because all these cases, the person who sees him shechting l'shem these things, he knows he's lying. These things don't come beneder and nedava. They come only in very specific cases. If he has a specific avera which people would know about, or a b'chor which people know about, a ma'aser which people know about. So in such cases, we don't have the chashash that people are going to say that it's kachim b'chutz. It's bimela, it's kosher. That klal, the Mishnah continues and says, brings a klal. We'll see in the Gemara what it comes to include, what it comes to add. Kol davar shenidar v'nidav hasheichel l'shmoi osel. Anything that a person could donate by a neder or a nedava, if he shechts it l'shem that thing, it's possible. But v'sheina nidar v'nidav hasheichel l'shmoi kosher. But if you do it l'shem any korban that's not nidar v'nidav, like we said, chatos and asham, is mimela, it's kosher. Okay. Zog the Gemara, Shechel l'shem oila. So we said that all the first karbanos that we bring are things that are nidar and nidav, right? You could be neither. So the Gemara asks, Asham taloi bar nidav and nidavo. On Asham taloi, it's frozen. Huh? Asham taloi. Okay, we said a person brings it if he has a suffix, if he's chayav kares or not. Okay, so how could we say that Asham taloi is bar nidav v'nidav? You could be neither. This goes according to Rav Lazar, the Amma misnadev adam Asham taloi b'chol yoin. Rav Lazar says a person every day has a suffix, maybe he sinned. Is Mimela Rav Lazar says any day you could bring an Asham Talui, you could be neither and neither. Is Mimela, if you sheikh at Chullin l'shem Asham Talui, there's a chashash that the person is going to think that he's being makdish now, and Mimela, he would think it's kachim b'chutz, and that's why it is possible. Right, the next case, Pesach, Barnida v'nidav.
This guy is doing the same oil. He means to bring an oil. What's he thinking? He's trying to be funny. What's he doing?
Either or, it doesn't make a difference.
It's
because if it's
even if yes,
real, so then it's kachim b'chutz. It's real kachim.
What?
If it's bisman beis hamikdash and he means it, so it's real kachim b'chutz.
That's right.
If it's not Bisman Beis HaMikdash, so I don't know, could you be Makdash anymore?
It's not Bisman Beis HaMikdash, obviously.
L'chora not. I don't know.
It's Xera.
It's a Xer Rabbanon. Rabbanon agrees on the psul.
So Korban Pesach could be.
אל תיכנס לפוליטיקות.
No, but it's not in a hard bias.
Ah,
If it was in a hard bias,
You go on our right. If not, it's fine.
If I'm not mistaken, 1 second. Okay, weiter. So the Gemara is now about Pesach. Pesach, bar nidav v'nidavu. Zman ukvielei. Korban Pesach has a specific time. You can't just be nidav Pesach whenever you want. So he explains, no. Shani Pesach, you write that I have to be makriv the Pesach only on Yudalid. But I could be mafresh a korban for Pesach the whole year round. Is mimela, it could be nidar nidav the whole year round. It can't be shechted, but it could be mukdash. So if I could be makdishit the whole year round, I still have this chashash that a person is going to say, now I'm being makdishit. Omar Aviyanai.
I talk about somebody being makdish or somebody shoichet. You said a
Shoichet l'shem, right? It's l'shem, or he wasn't really.
Is he shechting it the Shem Pesach Chanukah?
So that's what the Reuven just is. L'chura not. He's not doing it, but we worried maybe. But the person who looks around says it looks like it. So in Mela, 1 second, he was makdish, right? Well, not makdish. But if he was makdish and he's still allowed to eat it, kachim bachutz are allowed. So that's the chashash from Marisayan. No, I don't want it. Thanks. Okay. Omar Aviyanai lo yishanu elu tamimim. This whole case that we say that we have a chashash that they would think that he has been makdish this korban is only by tamimim that don't have a mum, that you could be makdish. Ava balei mumim meidei yediyah. If they have a mum, people know you can't be makdish a bal mum. So even if you it looks like that he's doing a l'shem oila, we know that he's playing a game, so we don't have we don't have the worry that people are going to think that kachim bachutz are mutar. Rabbi Yochanan says, "Afilu balei mumim nami." Also, balei mumim. Do we still have this chashash? Zimnin derami le'midi amuma v'lo yadia. Sometimes he could hide this mum. He could cover it with something, and
People all know.
yeah, he covers it. Rashi says either with wool or with cement or something, betit. And people don't see it; they think it's a tam. So we still have this chashash of people thinking that kachim bachutz are mutar. Hashoichet l'shem chatos. So we said if someone sheiches l'shem chatos, it's kosher because you cannot be noider and noidev a chatos. Omar Rabbi Yochanan leishanu l'sheinu mechuyev chatos. A person, if he's not chayav chatos, in such a case it's kosher. Aval mechuyev chatos. If a person is chayav a chatos, eima l'shum chatos u'aiseh. We still have the worry that he's going to be doing it l'shem his chatos, which that he could do because he's chayav a chatos. So we still have this problem that people that see him are going to think that he's doing it l'shem chatas. It's mimela kachim bachutz again. So the Gemara asks, "V'halo kol l'shem chatosi." He's not saying that it's l'shem his chatos. Okay, if you're not saying l'shem chatos, the person thinks it's stamaneder. Stamaneder doesn't hold, so it's for sure not kachim.
How are people supposed to know if it is if he needs a chatos or he doesn't need a chatos?
It's something that's known. That's what the Gemara says. The Gemara understands, okay, that when a person is chayav chatas, meidei yediyah.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. Omar Rababo. So Rababo says, "Be'omer l'shem chatasi."
He said l'shem chatasi.
7 lines from the bottom.
Therefore what?
He says l'shem chatasi. Is mimela when he's saying l'shem chatosi, a person is going to think that and when he says l'shem chatosi, he's magdish it as his chatos, and he shechts it bachutz, it's kachim bachutz. Is mimela, we would think that kachim bachutz are mutar.
The guy is saying even if it has a mum, If he's saying,
No, we passed that. We're up to the next case. The next case is chatas. Chatas, a person can't be makdish, right? But if he's chayav chatas, so we're saying over here, if he says l'shem chatasi, so even though he wasn't makdish it really, but a person that looks around that sees him saying it is going to think that it is kodesh, is mimela it's kachim bachutz, and if it would be mutter, we would say kachim bachutz or mutter.
because you don't know that guy is chayav chatas or not.
We do. That's what the Gemara is saying. It's exactly what we just said. When a person is chayav chatas meidei yediyah, it's something that people know about.
Wow.
Yeah.
Akideka.
L'shem Tamura.
Part of the kapara. Part of the kapara.
Part of the kapara is that people know that he's embarrassed. Yeah. L'shem Tamura. If someone does a Tamura is a carbon that's an animal that's brought supposedly instead of a different another carbon, and both of them are kodesh. We're talking over here that he doesn't have another carbon in his house, and that is what he's the kedusha on this Tamura.
That's why it's mutter.
That's why it's mutter. That's right, because it's not nidav and nidav. But if he does have one in his house, we could still say that he is transferring the kedusha from the animal that he has in his house. He didn't say l'shem Tamura of my zevach. Both cases we're talking about that he's saying it in a way that people really think that it could be done. Is mimel we have this chashash of kachim b'chutz. Okay, zeklal. We said at the end of the Mishnah, after bringing all these different cases, we say that we have a klal. The klal says anything that nidar and nidav, so the shchita is puzzled. But something that's not nidar and nidav, the shchita is kosher. So what is this klal coming to include? What is it coming to add to the Mishnah that's not written there? What is it coming to add? So zog the Gemara, it's coming to include an oila of a nazir. That if someone says, I'm shechting l'shem oilas nazir, it's puzzle. Why? Because someone that sees him thinks that he is not there now, and he's being mafresh the carbon and shechting it is mimela, it's kaching bachutz.
It's a voluntary neder.
Of course, so everything is a voluntary neder. Oila is also a voluntary neder. The mao, the tema.
And complete the sentence. A person sees a guy saying, "This is for my nazir outside." So what's the problem? It's kachim b'chutz.
We would think it's kachim b'chutz, and if we would say it's mutar, person would think that if you shecht kachim b'chutz, it's kosher. That's why we say that's the whole thing of this Mishnah is to tell us that we are worried of Maris Ayin.
But it is kachim.
Well, it's not. He said l'shem. He's not makdish it. He's sheichet l'shem, but he's not makdish it. Okay. So what's the chiddush about this oilas nazir? The mao the tema. I would think haloi nodar. I would think the person wasn't noider to be a nazir. Why? Because this is something that people know about. So we would say that what he's saying, that he's shechting in the Shem Alas Nazir is nothing. So Marian says, Eimar Nodar Betzina. No, we still could say about the Nazir that he was neither Betzina, and Mimela, he did the Naziros 30 days ago Betzina, and 30 days is a short time, and that's something that people don't always know.
You see the guy is unkempt.
Okay. Yeah, that minimum Naziros is Shlashim Yom. And Rashi explains that the worry is Dilma Nadal Betzina Zeh Shlashim Yom Shustam Naziros Ubishlashim Yom Laim Min Kara Milsa L'Shchenav. Right, a Nazir has to grow his hair. 30 days growing your hair is not that bad. So I guess people don't know yet that you are Nazir. And when he says now L'Shem Alas Nizri, well L'Shem Alas Nazir, we still have this chashash of.
Look a little bummy, that's all. I think it's the usual.
Okay, weiter. The second half that talks about things that you cannot be neither. What does that come to add? It's coming if he says this animal is l'shem oilas yoledes. If he says that, it's kosher. Why? Because we know that he can't be neither l'shem oilas yoledes. Dafka that he doesn't have a wife. Aval yesh lo isha. But if he does have a wife, Eima lishmahu, I said, we could still say that he's doing it l'shem the oila that his wife is chayav. Is mimela, we still have this worry. Maybe it is a real neder and it's a real kachim b'chutz. So. I said, again, he didn't say l'shem oila sishti. He said it's something very general. So why do we worry that it is about his wife? No, we're talking about that he did do it l'shem oila sishti. So pshita, of course, if he has a wife, she's chayav with the oila. Okay, so of course the pshita is possible. Ma'u the tema im isa di olda kala havelei. If she would have had a baby, people would know is mimela. If he would be makdish, it would be known. And now that people don't know is mimela, he can't be just makdish stam anoyla siledes kamash malan ema apule apil. We worry maybe she had a miscarriage and she still have a korban that people don't know. And is mimela, he's makdish it for his wife. Homework for tomorrow for everybody is to learn the anatomy of animals and all the parts.